Madam Deputy President, we have heard conflations of words today, this afternoon, in question time and after, which do raise concerns from this side of the chamber. We've heard words bandied around, such as McCarthyism and recklessness. I'd put it to the chamber, Madam Deputy President, that in fact recklessness is conflating this issue into something that it is not. The fact of the matter is that China is our largest trading partner, and it is likely to remain so into the foreseeable future. And that's because trade has brought mutual benefits and lifted hundreds of millions of people out of the region, out of poverty. And as we emerge from this particularly difficult time in the COVID-19 pandemic, it's important that trade continues to be open, transparent and useful as a tool to economic recovery. The Australian government has, through its embassy in Beijing and its agencies in Canberra, sought to clarify media reports of restrictions and unsubstantiated reports of possible bans on Australian products. And such reports, if true, would raise serious questions about compliance with trade rules, and which would be inconsistent with statements from the Chinese leadership, including last week's China International Import Expo on its commitment to open trade and the multilateral trading system. So we and this government expect that China will continue its trade relationship with Australia in a manner consistent with its obligations. Chinese authorities have confirmed increased testing of Australian live lobster imports, on which the Australian government had been urgently seeking clarification. Australia has strong regulatory controls that underpin the biosecurity, integrity and safety of our exports, safeguards that support our international reputation as a reliable exporter of safe, high-quality produce. The Australian government continues to expand trade opportunities for exporters, most recently through the CPTPP and trade agreements with Indonesia, Peru, Hong Kong. The PACER Plus will enter into force next month, and we'll expect to sign the regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement before the end of this year, as well as negotiating trade agreements with the EU, UK and the Pacific Alliance. And so the issue regarding the number of our commodities and other exports is, of course, a great concern to the government and a great concern to those exporters. And the Australian government has been standing by our exporters in ways this country has not seen in a long time, particularly during this difficult time of the pandemic. The technical issues, as they've been described by the Chinese government, will now be worked through. But as the Prime Minister has said, Australia will stand by our sovereignty. We will always stand by our values, we will always be consistent with those, and we will never trade them away. And we will maintain the integrity of whether it's foreign investment rules or rules of interference in Australia's political situations here in Australia, or the integrity of communications network, whether it be all of these things. And we will continue to raise our voice on matters that are important to the Australian people. And we'll do that consistently so that these things can't be traded away. And there are matters of concern. They are matters of concern which the Australian government has raised over and over again, and will continue to do so, so that we may stand by our values. As the Prime Minister has said, it is critical that we work this relationship, importantly for Australia, in a way that's consistent with the comprehensive strategic partnership. It's an important partnership. We believe it's an important relationship, but it's a relationship that will always be based on Australia's national interest and mutual benefit between Australia and China. These deeply troubling rumours about trade relations in categories which are predominantly, as the Trade Minister has said, predominantly rumours, which are unconfirmed, unsubstantiated, and people need to treat them in the manner in which they have been described. And it is important, of course, for our exporters that we do give them all the support that they require through these difficult times in terms of their engagement with the Chinese authorities and their business counterparts on mainland China and other parts of the Chinese, including Hong Kong and other. The importers and customers who have had such a huge demand.
Thank you, Senator Antic. The time has expired.